right? I know you're saying that you had a role to play in this as well, but I'm only here for the fact that he choked you in anger. All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 3065, State of Texas versus Christopher Dunning. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ricardo Briones for Mr. Christopher Dunning.
And are you Christopher Dunning?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
We're here for sentencing. You entered a plea of no contest and applied for deferred adjudication on May 13th. According to your plea bargain agreement, the state proceeded on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family as a Class A misdemeanor, and the state recommended deferred adjudication. All right, and we're here. Thank you. We're here for sentencing. Any witnesses, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Lori Dunning is in the courthouse, in the courtroom. I would like to call her as a witness.
All right, Miss Dunning, if you'll come forward. Hello.
Good afternoon,
Good
Your Honor.
afternoon. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
It's Lori Lynn Dunning.
All right. Defense, it's your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Lori, can you spell your first name for the court reporter?
Yes, it's Lori.
And you go by Lori Lynn. It's your middle name.
Lynn is my middle name, Lynn.
And Ms. Dunning, what is your relation to Chris Dunning?
He's my husband.
And were you the complainant in this case?
Yes,
Okay. And as you know, the court agreed to give him deferred adjudication probation.
yes,
Are you in agreement that he can have contact with you?
yes, I am.
Okay. Right now, generally, these things are given a no contact order. Are you asking the court today to modify that to a no harmful or injurious contact order?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you all been married?
We've been together since 2000, right after 9/11, 2001, but we've gotten married in 2004.
And as far as you know, you haven't filed for divorce. You want to continue being in a relationship with him, correct?
Correct. That's right.
And you would like him to be able to do his community supervision at y'all's residence, correct?
That's correct.
Great. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
No question. Yeah.
All right. So do y'all have any children in the household?
No, we have no children.
All right. So you said y'all were married, but when did you first meet him?
It was right after 9/11, so 2001.
And so this physical abuse that happened, is that the first time?
Yes.
All right. So what caused it?
I believe our marriage was not in the best shape. Both of us, I think, had become complacent and just weren't taking care of each other ourselves. And I think he was dealing with some mental health issues. We're both nurses, so I could identify what I thought was maybe some bipolar issues that, based on my inattention maybe to the marriage, I think it threw him into some paranoia and behaviors that he's never exhibited before.
All right. I understand that you're saying that there were things that were happening in the marriage or things that you were going through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how it escalated though to what I read in the police report.
It was just a various accumulation, I think, of I think I disconnected and withdrew a lot. That took him into a state of he felt I was leaving and like taking everything, and I think he lost control. So he was seeing his life fall apart right there.
Mhm. So, because it became very violent from what I'm reading.
Yes.
And so I understand that maybe things are happening in the marriage. And I can't force people to do counseling because for counseling, you need two people. And part of the conditions that I set is supposed to be conditions to protect all parties involved. And I know you're an adult, he's an adult, but sometimes as an adult, we have to be protected from ourselves. And what I can tell you is what I will do is he needs some treatment under his belt before I allow him to have contact with you. And when I say treatment under his belt, I mean he needs to do some violence courses. I know the agreement that you made with the family violence prosecutors were to reduce this, but it's saying that he choked you. And choking somebody where they're having problems breathing, that's very up close and personal. And it's not something, from what I'm reading in the police report, it's not something where you're doing something from a distance. That's sort of like up close and personal. And then you have to hold it for a while for somebody not to be able to breathe. So I'm not trying to destroy your marriage. Sometimes people have to go through their marriage and go for it as long as they want to. But I need to just make sure that he has some classes or something where he can internalize what his role in this was, right? I know you're saying that you had a role to play in this as well, but I'm only here for the fact that he choked you in anger. And so I need to make sure that he receives the counseling that he needs, because otherwise this relationship is not going to work anyway. Because whatever issues you all had before he got to this point, those issues still exist. It's just that you all have not been discussing them because he's in custody at the Bexar County Jail. So what I find in cases like this, individuals need to work on themselves. While I'm forcing him to work on himself, you need to work on yourself as an individual. Then once everybody, you and he both, are able to look at your relationship objectively and see if this is a relationship that truly should continue or not, you'll be in a better position to make that determination. So for now, I'm not going to allow any contact. He can come back in 3 months. By then, he should have done some classes because I'm going to order the batterers intervention prevention classes for him. And he's shaking his head over there upset now. So that tells me he needs to be in some classes because he's not internalizing and he doesn't understand the reason why we're here is because he choked you. And the reason why this is reduced to a Class A misdemeanor, I'm sure it's because maybe you didn't want to come in and testify. And the state is still trying maybe to protect you by having some form of probation for him. So that's where we are. I'm not going to allow contact. That's where we are.
May I say?
Sure.
Okay, so the incident I know was over a year ago. Chris, for his reasons, had a bond out and didn't turn himself in. So we have been living together for the last year with no incidences or fear that I fear from him. And I think that says a lot. I do agree on the counseling for both of us and him.
I mean, here's the thing. It's 3 months for him to start classes. Neither of us are teenagers here. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's 3 months. It's the end of the world. It's 3 months. As we can tell, time goes by quickly. Heck, it's almost Christmas. And that's come around very quick. We're almost about to be into 2025. And what I can tell you, what I have discovered sometimes, people are on their best behavior when they have cases pending. And you know why they're on their best behavior when they have cases pending? Because they don't want to go back to jail. And Sometimes, and we can go off the record, sometimes I've been a defense attorney and I've represented people who've been charged, both males and females, with being violent with their partner. And you know what I would always tell them? You had better be the nicest person you can be. You had better get your life in order. Here's some counseling. Would they take that advice? Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. My only job was to represent them and get them a favorable outcome. And you know what ended up happening? 9 times out of 10, maybe 2 years later, I get a phone call. They're charged with another assault case against the same person or either against someone else. And you know why that's the case? Because when you have charges that are pending, whatever the issue was that made them be violent, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just sitting in the closet waiting for itself to come out. All right. All right. But thank you so much for coming in. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We can go back on the record. This is what the court is going to order. The court is going to place you on 2 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. I'm going to order the BIPP course. There's to be no contact with Lori, Lori, Dunning until further notice, and probation. Once he has completed, been in the BIP course for at least 3 months, you can always come back and the court will reconsider. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days.
I'm disabled.
Pardon?
I'm disabled.
All right, just a second. Proof of employment within 30 days or proof of SSI. What's your disability?
Head injury.
All right, proof of SSI within 30 days. If not, there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And just a second. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month. It's to be random. And so for the first 3 months, 1 time per month. And then thereafter to be random, but no less than 1 visit every 3 months. There is to be 80 hours of community service restitution. He can either do the 80 hours of community service restitution, or I'll allow him to pay $7.25 per hour to a charity of his choice. It can either be San Antonio Food Bank, or if he wants to pay $50 to Crime Stoppers, he can pay $50 to Crime Stoppers. In just 1 moment. And we'll do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, or if he has his own personal doctor, he can go to his personal doctor. Probation, is there anything else that's needed? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Sir, is there anything else you need from the court?
Well, I have to go back to jail.
No, you'll be released. You just cannot live with your wife. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
Where do I go? I don't have any family or anywhere to go.
You can go to Haven for Hope. You can go to Lifetime Recovery.
Is
all
that
right.
across the street? Do you have directions?
Oh, their probation will let you know where that's located at.
And will they provide me with counseling?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck to you. All right, Mr. Briones, you're excused. Court is calling. We're gonna deal with the indicted cases first, then we'll deal with the night mag.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5961, 2024 CR 5962, 2024 CR 5963, 2024 CR 5964, and 2024 CR 5965. State of Texas versus Marissa Magana. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Anthony Zamora for Ms. Magana.
All right, off the record, Mr. DeLeon, if you could have them move your client to the end, they'll do it. All right, we're back on the record. And are you Marissa Magana?
Yes, sir.
Pronounce your last name.
Magana.
Magana, okay. All right, we are here, defense, you're requesting bonds, is that correct?
I believe the only ones, and this is what I've been told, so I believe the only ones that she needed to be magistrate in a bond set was 5961, 5963, and 5965. All the odd numbered ones.
All right, and so Deputy Laura has tended those to me.
And I believe that there's bond set already on 62 and 64.
All right, does anyone know the amount of bonds that are set on 6.2 and 6.4?
6.4, I believe it, at one, the beginning, it was 10,000, Judge. I believe it's still 10,000. But that's not my, JD's not updated,
It's
so.
not a.
Okay,
That's been the problem last week for me, Your Honor. I've been trying to
Okay.
get this information. And they've been helpful, but it kind of changed from when I started to yesterday.
okay.
Looked like on 6.2, at least initially started at 10,000 also.
I think that's correct.
Okay. All right, so defense is asking for bonds and the cause numbers ending in 6.1, 6.3, 6.5,
Yes, ma'am.
6.1. The alleged offense date is January 26, 2024.
That's what they just told me.
All right, 6.3,
October
The-
7th.
date is October 7th, 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
And 6.5, the date is October 7th, 2023. Is that correct?
That's the information that they gave me.
All right. So defense is requesting a bond on these three cases. They're listed as state jail felonies.
Yes, ma'am.
So state, what are you requesting for a bond?
The other ones that were listed at also state jails that I mentioned earlier, Judge, so the state would be requesting a $10,000 bond on each.
Judge, the only thing I would present to the court, and I know the court's been doing this a long time. She knew what was going to happen today. We knew we weren't going to be able to process her downstairs. She's here, she's dressed warmly because it may take a day or two. So her appearing in court is not going to be in question. And I'm going to write the bond, so I have no doubt that she's going to make the appearance. I leave it to the court.
Okay. All right. So part of the Ms. Magana,
Magana.
I don't know what to do with that G sometimes. All right. Part of my duties in setting bonds is to make sure that community is protected. For example, that no other alleged offenses are committed, right? So this is what the court is going to do. The court can set your bonds in each of these cases at 5,000, but the court is going to order full GPS. Or the court can order it at $10,000 each. And I think that would ensure your appearance without the GPS.
The GPS is going to be restrictive, so I would suggest the $10,000. The $10,000 voucher.
All right, then I'm going to follow the agreed recommendation from the state. And your bond and each of these cause numbers is going to be set at $10,000. And the court will note for the record that these cases appear to be recently indicted. And Mr. Garehand, I know you're not the person who recently indicted and that you're not in intake. State any conditions that you're requesting outside of GPS. All right, so there's to be no contact with the complainants. And what is the co-defendant's name?
Eric Kelly, I'm sorry, Eric Kelly.
How do you spell the Eric
ERIK,
and the last name?
last name is KELLE.
All right, so in each case, there's to be no contact with the complainants and no contact with Eric Kelly.
And Judge, both have court settings this morning,
Okay,
other than the courthouse, courtroom, or what have you.
right. Next, we're going to take up night mag number 738938. The bond is set at $55,000.
Judge, the bond was initially set at 50. We made that bond. I made that bond. The bond was increased by Judge Her, but I don't believe she had the court dates. If that January 26th date is accurate, that's the only one that's showing after the date. I'm thinking there's an error with that. That all these were prior to this offense, but I believe that's why I believe Judge Her increased it from 50 to 55. I would humbly ask the court to reinstate the 50. Mainly because it's less work, I mean, to go through this process, but it's still a high enough to secure her appearance. And
All right, everyone, please whisper.
And Judge, the reason it was increased was because there's a violation report on file.
All right, so,
which is the new cases that,
all right, could someone print out the violation report for the court?
oh, yes, ma'am.
That's not correct.
It's not correct at all, not at all.
All right, so let's do this. On this case, we're going to step back and state if you all can call the prosecutor over in Guadalupe County, and then
That's fair.
they'll confer with you.
Yes, ma'am.
So on the case that's ending in nightmare, well, that's nightmag number 738938. The court is not going to hear that at this time. We're going to bring it back after the state and the defense have had a chance to speak with the prosecutors in Guadalupe County.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I can tell you is, once they've spoken to the attorneys in Guadalupe County, the court will make a determination on whether the bond of $55,000 is appropriate or not.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. After Alvo Tucker, it's gonna be Joshua Mackey, and then it will be Roy Vidalis. Hello, Mr. Tucker.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mr. Tucker has an MTR,
Yes.
and this morning the state amended their motion to revoke.
Mhm.
There's some misdemeanors pending in County Court 2. I have Mr. Tucker set for County Court 2 on Friday, so I can look into those. I have good reason to believe those cases might not be as wonderful as the state may believe they are.
Mhm.
Therefore, we'd like to get a reset, but a short reset, maybe not next week, but the week after, 4th of July.
All right, you want to reset it for July 1st or July 2nd?
July 2nd would be better.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you set Mr. Tucker on July 2nd? All right, is there anything else?
That'll be a judge.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson, if you can give them a reset form because he may end up being released. Every time when I see someone with the last name Tucker, you know what movie I think of? Tucker, A Man in His Dreams.
Okay.
You know, it was with, right?
Yes, ma'am.
He knows what I'm talking about.
And I actually started my own lawn care service.
Oh,
So
that's
why
awesome.
I'm trying to hurry and get back out to it because it was right in the beginning stages.
Mhm.
It's actually the Texas Lawn Man. like the
Okay,
Texas
awesome.
Law Guns.
Yes.
So pretty excited about that. I'm just trying to hurry and get back out there, get back on the right track with probation. And
Okay.
take care of what I need to take care of.
All right, that'll be awesome.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fight to get there.
And people, please bring back the raking of the grass. Sometimes it doesn't pick
I
up.
do that
Thank
on
you.
all my yards because I feel like if I'm gonna use yard, I don't want the grass to pile up on it. So
Thank
I
you.
Rake it all up.
And you know, when it piles up, you end up with thatch. I keep telling
Then you
people
get
that.
brown burn spots.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You have a blessed day, ma'am.
All right, you too. All right, who's here on Joshua Mackey?
I am Judge. He's on Zoom.
Who's the prosecutor on Joshua Mackey?
It's gonna be exactly on your honor. Here's the accepted copy of the motion. I apologize.
All right, thank you. Oh, they have it in the file.
Yeah, that one wasn't accepted yet when I conferred with Zach yesterday, but the agreed orders on the, which he signed on, so on that.
All right, thank you, you too. Mr. Mackey. It shows that he's joining us.
Kelly Pittle, KELLYPITTL.
Josh Mackey. Meatheads LLC. What is that about?
It's weightlifting, Judge.
Ah, okay. All right, you need to find a place, unmute.
Sit down, Josh.
All right, and button up the shirt. This is not Saturday Night Fever. You know, guys have gone back to that 70s thing where their shirt is like one button. I don't understand that.
I have chest hair, so no one wants to see that. Judge.
Just covered up with some medallions or something.
What's the horn one, right? That used to be popular, right?
Oh, that was. You need to unmute, sir.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So if you can stop moving, you're making me seasick. All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2014 CR 5495, State of Texas versus Joshua Mackey. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Zach Dunn for the state.
for the defense?
Kelly Piddle.
All right, we're here. The defense is requesting modification of conditions of GPS. State, have you had a chance to review the request?
Yes, we conferred yesterday, Your Honor, yes.
All right, any objections?
Nope, state is unopposed, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mackey, your attorney has put in this motion that you are to train at Iron City Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Is that because he has clients?
Yes, he's a personal trainer.
All right, and then Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Do you
Yes.
understand that outside of that, you're not allowed to do other things?
Yes, I understand.
So what that means is if you finish at 10 p.m. and you see the Golden Arches or you see the Whataburger or whatever it is you see, and you're thinking, it's on my route, let me stop there. That's not going to be a good thing for you. That's going to be a violation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
The only other request in there, Judge, is that he be allowed to go within 1,000 feet of his apartment complex to walk his dog.
Okay, that's not on your motion. Oh,
It is, Judge.
The state is unopposed. There's no, I had asked counsel about maybe the proximity of the complainant or anything like that, and nowhere near the 1,000 feet range, so the state was unopposed.
all right. Is he going to have his bag to pick up whatever his dog deposits?
Yes, I carry a those little bags.
All right, there's nothing worse than seeing people walk their animals and they don't have a bag, so you know they're not going to pick up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. And we need a time frame for that.
Um,
They're usually on
when the
schedule.
dogs are on schedules when they poop.
Oh, they are.
Okay. Josh, when do you typically take your dog to go to the restroom?
Yeah, she's right. But every two
Very much.
hours.
For people who have no experience with pets or just let their pets run wild. Okay, so
Like every 2 hours. At least he's got to do something out there. But I mean, he can hold it. I don't know, would say give him 4 hours.
all right, because we're not going to do every 2 hours because nobody's walking a dog every 2 hours.
Okay, so let's say however many there were however many hours.
All right, I'll tell you what we will do, Mr. Mackey. You're going to discuss it with your attorney.
Judge, can
The
we,
attorney is going to discuss it with the state and we'll figure out a time.
Okay.
I will allow you to walk your dog daily, but it's just not going to be at any time. Because otherwise,
Yes.
then we're not on GPS, we're on tracking. So
Okay.
they'll let me know. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank
call you
you.
right now to discuss it, Josh.
All right.
All right, who is here on Christopher Weezer?
Judge, I'm present for Christopher. He is in the box, Your Honor.
All right, come down, Mr. Weezer.
Go with soft H.
All right, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, this is actually, I just got appointed in May.
Mhm.
And so I have been conferring with the state, Mr. Zach Dunn, and he is going to reach out to the complainant. I'm looking over some other cases. There's another attorney as well from the public defender's office, and we're working together to try to resolve this, see what we can do.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Christopher Weezer. State you'll need to be prepared to tender an offer at this next date.
Sure.
And you all need to be prepared to sign an acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, if it's even earlier, I'm gonna be here July 16th. I know that's not
Okay.
30 days, but.
All right, so,
Okay, that's,
Okay.
it's Mary Diaz on July 16th.
I'm sorry, what?
The Diaz case we have on the 16th, so we can do it, but
No, it's not for trial.
No, no, trouble. This is that.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, that would make sense, right, okay. Offer at the next setting. And then
Correct.
All right, so we'll come back on July 16th. All right, Miss, is your client going to be released from custody?
I don't believe so. Your Honor.
All right, Norma, give them a reset form just in case.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll sign it.
I went right to the other case. I was like, wait a minute.
Some good trial right now.
Good morning. How are you doing? Oh, great. All right, so what answers do you have for me on Magana?
Additional fraud, credit card, and state jail felonies in Guadalupe County.
All right, do we know the dates of offenses?
I'm sorry, we took. on that.
Judge, if you're asking me, I think those might be after. I'm not handling the dates of the offenses of.
All right, so,
So nothing aggravated.
Office date was March 2nd, 2024, Your Honor. And
All right.
there's a theft by mail, first degree, unlawful use of foreign instrument, fraud of 5 to 10. And,
oh, we're not on the record. Yeah, I'll
also,
let you know when we're back on the record.
looks also like a possession charge, less than a gram, possession of dangerous drug, including a police officer.
All right, so I will tell you, on this case, if you want the bond to remain at 55,000, she's gonna have to be on GPS. Because there appears to be cases all over.
We thought that if you would, you mean, you would reinstate the 50? And just for work for me, I mean, it's.
No, I understand. But, I have to weigh
Yes, ma'am.
certain things on what the bond should be set at. So state, are you gonna have any objections if the bond were reinstated at 50,000, but place her on full GPS?
No.
All right, Miss Magana, if you'll come down, and I know I'm mispronouncing her name
It's Magana.
every
Magana.
time.
I do Magana.
All right, so I'm fine then, because whoever printed this paperwork out, they don't have the symbol over the end, so. We're back on the record in NIMAG number 738938. State it's the court's understanding that you have no objections to the bond being reinstated at $50,000, but she's gonna be on full GPS.
It's a little quick, because council mentioned, you're not opposed to 50,000, you're not opposed to that.
All right. So the bond then will be set at $50,000. There will be full GPS. There's to be no contact with the complainants and no contact with Eric Kelly.
And Judge, for the court's information, I think they live together, so she's gonna have to make arrangements for that GPS to be established at some other residence. or
Yes.
place.
And she's not to be released until the GPS is installed.
Judge, is there an upfront payment for that, or will they give her 30 days to make the payment on the GPS?
If the Bear County Jail places her on GPS, which they will, they'll work with her.
And we're, just for clarification, we're reinstating the initial bond of 50,000 with the addition of the GPS. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so you all need to stop whispering. Y'all are making it very hard for the court reporter. And you're making it very hard for me because my allergy ear is acting up. So the record could be clear. In this case, there is an agreed bond of $50,000, correct, both sides?
Yeah, sure.
The reinstatement of the initial.
Yes. See, your voice just trailed off. There's going to be full GPS, correct?
That is correct. Your Honor.
That's our understanding. Yes,
There's to be no contact with the complainants or Eric Kelly, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
that's correct.
And she is to remain in custody until GPS is installed.
Yes,
That is correct, Your Honor.
Judge. At the
And I'll
present
ask that the fees are waived.
Thank you, Your Honor. At the present time, I believe she's residing in Guadalupe County. She's gonna have to make arrangements and figure out if it's gonna be back in Bear County as far as residents.
It'd probably be best for you to be back in Bear County.
Okay, if that wasn't, if I had to go to like Kyle, Texas or something, would that be, that wouldn't be, okay, so Bear County somewhere?
Yes, Bear County.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Judge. Other than we'll see you back on July 30th.
Yes.
May we be excused? May I
Yes.
be excused?
Yes, you may. And Norma, make sure she has a reset form. All right, thank you. All right. All right, court is going to call 2023. Come down, sir. CR 9657, State of Texas versus Nathan James Cruz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Stephen Gilmore from Mr. Cruz.
And are you Mr. Cruz?
No.
All right, defense, I'm sorry, state has filed a motion for continuance. This is their first motion for continuance. Defense, have you had a chance to review the motion?
Actually, we discussed it back in chambers. I haven't reviewed the paper copy. I'm opposed to the state's motion for the same reasons I said on the record on Thursday. We have now a second speedy trial assertion that was filed, I believe Friday before last. He's been in custody over 300 days. The presumptive amount of time for prejudice is 8 months. He's exceeded 8 months. And I would actually consider this the state's second motion for continuance because we were set for trial on Tuesday, the 11th. And the state was not ready at that time. So in my mind, for the purposes of the record, this would be the state's second not ready.
All right,
Judge, actually, that's not true, at least for the second not ready. We were in, I believe, a murder trial on that particular week, so this case did not come up. I believe defense counsel is probably talking about a private conversation we've had together, saying that we may have not been ready on that. So this is the state's official first motion for continuance on a case of stating not ready, Your Honor. And due to the fact that the material witnesses that would be needed for this case are not available at this time and have not been subpoenaed by the state. We have tried unsuccessfully at least 3 times to subpoena these individuals with going out to the last known addresses here in Bear County and also Uvalde County. So this time the state's asking for the first motion for continuance.
All right, and the court will note for the record that the court was in a murder trial. And that was one of the reasons this case didn't go to at that time. Mr. Cruz, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the state's motion for continuance. However, we are coming back on Wednesday. I'm not giving them a long continuance. So we're going to come back on June 26th, which is Wednesday. We're going to have jury selection in the morning, and we're going to go straight through after jury selection into testimony. All right? All right. So I'm going to grant the state's motion, and this is reset for June 26th, which will be Wednesday.
Thank you, Judge. Are
You're
we
welcome.
excused?
Yes.
Appreciate you.
All right. And defense. Mr. Gilmore?
Yes, Judge.
See, I don't have a copy of the acknowledgement of discovery.
We did another one.
I don't believe it. Tender one.
Yeah, we did. I think I've done 2 now. I did one with Daniel. Daniel signed on Thursday.
All right. I guess it's somewhere in the system. I don't have it anywhere in the file.
Ah, okay.
Judge,
So-
would you like us to make another one?
Yes, if
Okay.
y'all could, just
This
so
will be
we'll
number 3.
have it in the file. All right. And Deputy Laura, he's coming back on the 26th for jury trial. All right. And this isn't working. Hufflepuff. All right. Sorry. All right. Who's here on Zaydan Ali?
That's me, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Where's your client?
He's there.
He needs to come up and you're on this side.
I'm always on the wrong side, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor you conferred with?
Adam.
I'm sorry, who?
Adam.
All right. Hello. Hello. All right. Do you have all the discovery?
I'll have to double check on that, but I should.
All right, State, were you able to tender an offer or no?
Yes, Your
How old are you?
23.
23. Ms. Ferguson, set this for a plea deadline date in 3 weeks, please. It's Ali. All right, your plea deadline date is on July 16th. At that time, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer. Do you understand? All right, I can't hear you. All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Your Honor. Wait a second.
Me to generate a discovery acknowledgement for defense counsel.
Yes, please.
I will, Your Honor.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank
Your Honor, we have answers for the court.
All right, just give me one moment.
Mine's are close. So, Mr. Reyna.
All right.
You showed up for same day.
Who's here on Catherine Aguilar? And where is she? Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm a little confused. So she had court today. And I was informed this morning that she had made bond, but there's no bonds. She has a parole, she had a parole violation apparently. And it appears that she might have been transferred to
All right, everyone, you all need to whisper. And if you all could do me a huge favor, the same tone that you have for your voice when you're not before the bench, bring that tone before the bench so we can hear you. Do not whisper before the bench, but you can't whisper when you're not before the bench. Yes.
So she may have been transferred to TDC or to the feds, Judge, so it's unclear where she is right now.
All right. Let me see. All right, so where are we? Are there still unindicted cases on this?
There are, Your Honor. I've conferred this morning. They're still unindicted and we're just waiting on.
All right, and what are these charges that are unindicted?
There's an unindicted ag robbery.
All right. So I'm gonna give you all one final.
Pardon me. There's Kelly.
Oh, yeah, this is the co-defendant from previous, Your Honor.
Okay.
The young lady that was up here.
All right, so just so you know, the young lady who was here before, I don't know what your relationship is with her. I don't know if you care for her, if you love her, but if you care for her and love her, guess what? She can't have any contact with you. And if she does, a warrant's gonna be issued. Do you understand? All right. And if you all are in a relationship, I find it very strange. He's out and about and she's in custody. Nobody's making her bond, but you know, I pretend I'm a relationship expert. These are just questions I always have. All right, so we're gonna reset this. And what date do we reset her cases for?
I believe it was the 30th. Judge.
Yes, so we're gonna recall this back on July 30th.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, Bruce.